everybody, Wildman Wes here, and this is the Worst State of Movies, where I look at 50 movies made in the United States that are considered the worst of the worst. And after watching them, I decide whether or not they are deemed worthy of said title of being the worst movie made in each state. It's time to see where we go to today. We now travel to the Lone Star State of Texas. Today's movie, I have to preface this. In the annals of cinema, especially during the early years, science fiction has played quite a pivotal role. And with science fiction, you have a lot of great, interesting, innovative ideas, and then you also have ideas that are kind of blah, or even to the point of taking, well, let's just say rip-offs. Who am I kidding? A lot of them get ripped off. Which brings us to today's movie with 1990's I Come in Peace, also known as Dark Angel. This movie starts off with an extraterrestrial being landing in Houston.
The whole planet Houston?
No, not that extraterrestrial being. This one is an alien that is taking out humans one by one in the most odd ways possible. And while the alien is doing that, we look at our focal character of Detective Jack Kane, who's on a stakeout during a drug bust gone wrong, because while he's listening in on the wire, a couple of hooligans decide they're gonna rob a liquor store nearby. He has to take care of that, and unfortunately his partner meets a grisly end. And so do the drug dealers that take him out by the alien that was taking out humans before that. As Jack is lamenting over the situation of his fallen partner, he has to deal with the FBI, especially one of the people involved named Agent Smith. Gosh, can't they think of any other name to call one of the side characters? I don't know. Anyways, Agent Smith is by the book and wanting to make sure that everything goes smoothly, and as Jack is dealing with Smith's antics, he also has to reconcile with his ex-girlfriend Diane, who he leaves for a while and comes back, and leaves for a while and comes back, and she understands that he is feeling low about the death of his partner. And they do get a very awkward reconciliation, but I'm gonna talk about that later on, because I need to move on to the plot of the film. As Kane and Smith are trying to figure out what is actually going on with the disappearances of people, and then actually finding them in the weirdest ways possible with certain wounds on their bodies that have no explanation whatsoever, they also have to deal with the drug syndicate that Kane has been following for a while, and they are in a weird way cahoots with the alien? I don't know. That, like, literally, the best way I could describe this, you know what, this movie is weird. So, Detective Jack Kane is dealing with an alien drug dealer who is harvesting drugs out of the endorphins of humans, and while Detective Kane is trying to get this alien, we also have another alien, and he is pretty much the protector trying to stop the alien drug dealer. This is like a big turf war between planet Earth and another planet. It just... I'm just going to cut to the chase. In the end, Detective Kane and Diane, they are happily ever after. The aliens are gone, and the drug turf war is ended. Oh, God. I thought I've seen some of the craziest and the weirdest and the just what the fuckery movies in this series. But man, this one, I can't even say it's worth a one watch, because the plot is completely convoluted. You don't really know that the aliens are drug dealers at the time until about over halfway through the film, and it just... Dolph Lundgren as the lead star does his best in this movie, being an action star and a martial artist. However, the plot can only go so far. And what I mean is his acting, as much as I enjoy him in other movies, this one just felt very carbon copy. Speaking of carbon copy, the aliens.
Oh my gosh.
We've got a roided out Christopher Lambert version, or a Timu version of it, for Mortal Kombat, as the alien drug dealer, and then the protector, the one that's coming to stop him, looks like a roided out Bobcat Goldthwait with a receding hairline. And both of them have these dual purposes of Predator and Terminator. There's a lot of quasi-Terminator car chases in this, and fight scenes, and there's also a weapon that the drug dealer alien uses that is a disc that is very reminiscent to Predator. There's also a lot of carbon copy music, especially with this being the early 90s, going out of the 80s with the generic Miami Vice music. Oh my goodness. And this was Paramount Pictures, of all companies, making a movie like this. What was Mancuso thinking with this one? I don't know. But I know what they were really thinking about. They couldn't really make a lot of sci-fi alien jokes at this point because they'd already been done. Roswell had already been talked about over and over and over again. So why not make some jokes about ethnicity? Okay, folks, now it's time to see whether or not I get flagged. The gang of drug dealers is known as the White Boys, and as it pertains, they are dressed in suits. I think they took a page out of Patrick Bateman from American Psycho's book before that movie ever came out, or if the book ever came out before then. I just, like I said, this movie's messed up. Bear with me. And when they talk about aliens in general, at one point they make a illegal aliens joke, and I just went, oh man. But it was 1990, folks. You could get away with it back then, to a degree. There are two side characters that I have to talk about a little bit in more detail. Smith, as I mentioned, he's by the book, but he is a complete dunski. He puts himself in the most awkward and inopportune situations that puts Detective Jack Kane in peril and in danger throughout the movie. He thinks that he knows all of his stuff, but he doesn't. And you sit there going, okay, he's the comic foil, he's the one who's gonna wreak havoc, and even though he's not trying to, he's just a victim of circumstance. And then we have a lab assistant named Bruce, who literally is a Java junkie that drinks his own makeshift coffee from his lab. That he brews it all through his beakers and Bunsen burners and everything, and he takes a couple sips and then he starts screaming and getting the jitters and everything. He has some information to give to Detective Kane and Smith at one point regarding all the weapons that the alien brought forth to take out humans and whatnot. But at the same time, you sit there going, is it the coffee talking, or is it just you actually know this stuff? As I mentioned, convoluted as all get out. Okay. This movie review is definitely a phone-in. It really is. And let's just face it, I come in peace / Dark Angel. If I didn't think I had ADHD before watching this movie, I do now. And I need to be very, very mindful with the other movies that I watch moving forward. We hope you enjoyed this quick and bullshit review of I Come in Peace / Dark Angel. If you've seen this movie before and you agree with me, leave a thumbs up. If not, I totally understand. Sometimes somebody's cup of tea is not somebody's can of Red Bull or coffee made in a lab, but I digress. Apart from that, we hope you share on social media, but most importantly, you hit that subscribe button. I'm Wild Man Wes, and we will see you next time, I hope, on the Worst State of Movies, where we have something a little bit different and hopefully a little bit better. Take care.